Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. During the last 24 hours, the Prime Minister has spoken to the Prime Minister of Australia and the Premier of China. Malaysia's Ministry of Foreign Affairs has sent diplomatic notes to all countries involved in the search and rescue operation. This includes two groups. First, countries in the search corridors, and second, countries from which we are seeking assistance and expertise. For countries in the search corridors, we are requesting radar and satellite information, as well as specific assets for the search and rescue operations. We are asking them to share their land, sea, and aerial search, also action plans, rescue action plans, with the Rescue Coordination Center here in Malaysia, so that we can coordinate the search efforts. We have asked for regular updates, including daily reports on both search activities and details of any information required from Malaysia. We are not at liberty to reveal information from specific countries. As the coordinating authority, we are gathering all information as part of the ongoing search and rescue operation. Ladies and gentlemen, over the past 48 hours, Malaysia has been working on the diplomatic, technical, and logistical requirements of the search for MH370. The number of countries involved in the search and rescue operation has increased to 26. Malaysia continues to lead the overall coordination of the search effort. The southern corridor has been divided into two sections according to the International Civil Aviation Organization demarcation. These demarcations were agreed by the ICAO, of which Malaysia is a council member, before MH370 went missing. Australia and Indonesia have agreed to lead search and rescue operations in their respective regions as demarcated by ICAO. Today I can confirm that search and rescue operations in the northern and southern corridors have already begun. Countries including Malaysia, Australia, China, Indonesia, Kazakhstan have already initiated search and rescue operations. The Royal Malaysian Air Force and the Royal Malaysian Navy have deployed assets to the southern corridor. Two Malaysian ships have been deployed, the offshore patrol vessel KD Kelantan and KD Selangor. This deployment also includes a Super Lynx helicopter, which can operate from either ship. Australia has already moved a P-3 Orion aircraft to the region of Cocos and Christmas Islands, and today the Prime Minister of Australia confirmed that Australia will send an additional two P-3 Orion and a C-130 Hercules. A US P-8 Poseidon aircraft will be traveling to Perth today to help with the search. Malaysia has been working with international investigators and aviation authorities since day one. Yesterday, experts from Civil Aviation Administration of China joined the investigation team. Today, officials from the French Office of Investigations and Analysis for the Safety of Civil Aviation also joined the team. These authorities are working with Malaysian Airlines and the DCA to refine data that can help with the search. On Saturday, 8th of March, the Royal Malaysian Police started investigations into all crew members on board MH370, including the pilot and co-pilot, as well as all ground staff handling the aircraft. On Sunday, 9th March, police officers visited the homes of the pilot and the co-pilot. Officers also spoke to the family members of the pilot and the co-pilot. Police visited the homes of the pilot and co-pilot again on Saturday, the 15th of March. The pilot's flight simulator was taken from his house with the assistance of his family. The simulator was reassembled at the police headquarters. At this point, I would like to stress that Malaysia has been cooperating with the FBI, Interpol, and other relevant international law enforcement authorities since day one. I would also like to address the speculation that Malaysia has held back information about the MH370 movements. For the families, I understand that every day prolongs their anguish. I understand because Malaysia too is missing its sons and daughters. There were 50 Malaysians on board the plane. Our priority has always been to find the aircraft. We would not withhold any information that could help, but we also have a responsibility not to release information until it has been verified by the international investigation teams. This responsibility is not only to the families and to the investigation, but also to the search and rescue operations. it would be irresponsible to deploy substantial assets merely on the basis of unverified and uncorroborated information. As soon as the possibility emerged that the plane had carried out an air turn back to the Straits of Malacca, we expanded our search to that area. I would like to reiterate the US investigating team's statement about that decision. Based on the information and data given by the Malaysian authorities, the US team was of the view that there were reasonable grounds for the Malaysian authorities to deploy resources to conduct search on the western side of Peninsular Malaysia. As soon as we verified and corroborated the new satellite information as to the possible last known whereabouts of the aircraft, we recalibrated our search efforts to the northern and southern corridors as announced by the Prime Minister. After my statement, we will release a more detailed map of the northern and southern corridor, which looks something like this. Malaysia Airlines has set up operation centers in both Kuala Lumpur and Beijing to care for the families of the crew members and passengers. MAS has allocated each family a caregiver who will be on 24-hour duty. They have sent more than 100 staff and caregivers to Beijing. The airline gives daily briefings to the families. They provide counseling sessions, and they contact families that have elected not to come to Malaysia between 2 or 3 times a day. Ladies and gentlemen, over the past 2 days, we have been recalibrating the search for MH370. It remains a significant diplomatic, technical, and logistical challenge. Malaysia is encouraged by the progress made during such a short period of time, and we are grateful for the response by the heads of governments that we have spoken to, all of whom have expressed a commitment of assistance. With support from our many international partners, this new phase of the search is underway. Assets are being deployed, and search and rescue operations have begun. And I wish to thank our partners from around the world for their continued support.
Research, and we got the 6th handshake by Inmarsat, the satellite service provider, and the satellite is geosatellite on top of Indian Ocean and looking at a very big area, and they have latitude, and the satellite can only see the aircraft at an elevation, and they can see this aircraft elevation of 40 degrees, and the only point of the only information of each of the handshake is a time where the handshake took place, and we don't know where it is. There's no indication of no coordinates. Therefore, we calculated from the last point at Straits of Malacca. We calculated, well, we route the aircraft on the minimum speed that 777 could do, and the maximum speed. The minimum speed goes to Laos, ended in Laos, and the maximum speed ended at the edge of Caspian Sea on the North Corridor. Therefore, the North Corridor stretches from Laos right to Caspian Sea, whereas on the south route, the minimum speed goes at this west of Sumatra, and the maximum speed goes down to the south of Indian Ocean. Therefore, the southern corridor stretches from east of Sumatra, right to south of Indian Ocean. And that's been verified by NTSB, FAA, AAIB. The Chinese talked to us today, and we showed to them. They agree with the findings, and the French is already here, and we're going to talk to them tomorrow and show them what
As you can appreciate, the area is concerned is huge. And what we've been doing since the Prime Minister announced it a few days ago is try and narrow this. And that is why the countries that are closest or have assets, whether satellite, radar, or assets on the ground, have been contacted. This is actually to reduce the area that we are looking at the moment.